Welcome to my channel. My name is London and today we have a new brand to try out. This is the newest Clean at Sephora brand. It just launched today, January 20th. I believe how you pronounce this is Caliray. I only feel like it says Caliray because this is a West Coast inspired makeup line. So it's supposed to be an easy, clean, recyclable brand. I mean, it has all of the little claims on the side of the packaging. This is the lip gloss, and then this is the foundation. So I got their lightest shade, which is shade number 2. Oh, look how cute the packaging is. Don't look here. Oh, how cool. It has all kinds of information inside of the box. So I guess you can just undo the box. I'm like afraid to mess the box up. Okay, I completely annihilated the box, but all on the inside, it has all kinds of information. I'll just read a little bit. So it says featherweight and free feeling with a finish that's not too matte, not too glowy, just dreamy, something coverage, not really sure what that word says, with natural silica, not silicone, blurring for complete real results. So the packaging is very similar to the Kosas tinted base oil. Let me grab it real fast. All right, so this is my Kosas tinted base oil. It does have the same kind of packaging to it. They both feel really liquidy and they both have that little ball in them. So I was really intrigued by this brand because it does seem right up my alley of more of like a skincare infused makeup, very natural, easy peasy. And the Kosas tinted face oil is one of my favorite foundations. So I am interested into trying this out. I believe this has 10 shades. I did take a video of what the display looks like at Sephora. This is the lightest shade number 2 and it doesn't really look that light to me. And I'm not super fair, but I do feel like that the lightest shade could be a little bit lighter. I felt the same way with the Kosas one, but we'll see how light coverage this is, if it can spread and cover like 3-4 different skin tones with the one shade. And then real quick, I did get the plumping glassy lip trip. I thought about getting all of the shades because I did like their shade variety. There's 6 shades, but I ended up going with Taco Tuesday. I only wanted to do one because it said plumping and it kind of intimidated me because I don't really like plumping lip gloss, but upon further investigation for this video, it does say that it plumps over time with peptides, so we'll try that out. And the lip gloss also has a bunch of stuff written in the packaging as well. All right, so let's get into this foundation, shall we? So it does feel very liquidy. It does say to use with your fingers or a brush. It is very liquidy. It does seem like it's a bit dark for me, even on my hand. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger and just try that out. So just spread it around like a moisturizer. My skin does get red when I touch it, so I'm gonna give it a minute. I'm gonna put a little bit more on just like on my nose so we can get like a side-by-side comparison. It definitely doesn't feel exactly like the Kosas one. The Kosas one is definitely a lot more oily-er, if that, whatever word I'm trying to find. This one has more like a silicone-esque primer feeling to it, or like a serum that has that kind of silicone feeling to it. I do feel like it does kind of match though, but I feel like if I put too much on, I mean, it is a light coverage, but if I tried to like really build this up, like I feel like it'd be a little bit too pinky for me. But as you can see, it is blending into my skin pretty well. I wasn't really expecting that. So here is the before and after, kind of far away. I do feel like it does blur a bit. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so that you can get a good look at my pores before and after. It does help even out my skin tone. I mean, a bit of my redness that I have on my cheeks of like breakouts are not completely covered by this, but it definitely helps tone it down a lot. And even like around my nose, I get like hormonal redness, and it has dulled that down a bit. What do you guys think so far? I'm gonna try it out with a brush on the other side. I'm gonna try my normal brush that I just like to use with foundation. This is the Sephora Pro Sculpting Brush number 99. I'm just gonna take a little bit up. Ooh. This I feel like is a little bit more full coverage. This spreads really well. I don't see that it's really like hard to blend out. Like it's not really leaving a lot of brush strokes like some foundations. I feel like it's a bit hard to use a brush with because it's prone to leaving brush strokes on your face, and so a beauty blender is a little bit easier to use than that. I do like it with a brush. I'll have to look up close and give a final verdict, but I mean, that took like no time to just like done. I do feel like it helped blur more with my fingers upon further inspection. Like I feel like my pores are just a bit more noticeable on this side than the side that I use with my fingers. I also feel like this side is a little bit more radiant than this side. I don't know if it just like sits into your skin a little bit more because I applied this one first, and it does feel like skin. It doesn't really feel like anything is on my face. I'm gonna go through and see if I can build it up. I have just a teensy bit left on my hand. I'm just gonna see if I can kind of tap over the redness on my cheeks. Seems to be working. And then I'll probably cover this spot up more with concealer, but it is helping to kind of pat the foundation over. I wouldn't say you could use this on like a pimple, but if you have like a patch of redness like I do feel like the foundation, just tapping it, will help. So far, I am really liking this foundation. It definitely hits all the check marks for me of super easy to apply, gives your skin a very natural look. It feels really lightweight. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything on my face. Looks natural, feels natural, something that's easy that can be just slapped on and have that like no makeup look to it. But I do feel like if you are a bit lighter than me, that this foundation might be a bit too dark for you, because I feel like you can tell just a smidgen from like my neck and chest that this is like a shade darker. I'm just gonna use a little bit of my NARS Soft Matte Concealer, very light amount of this concealer, and just touch up my under eyes. I really like how this looks so far. You guys let me know. What do you guys think? I like the sustainability that they have, and I like how everything is pretty much recyclable. So that's good, because I have been decluttering and doing a project pan a lot, and I've noticed that a lot of stuff that I have been finishing is not recyclable, so I do like that aspect of it. I do feel like I like the color of the Kosas one a little bit more. It's more of a true neutral. There we go. Ooh. All right, so this is the Kosas, and this is the Caliray. All right, so I just spread them out a little bit, so I feel like you guys can kind of tell that this one is a lot, like this one is way more slippery to the touch. Like it does feel like an oil, versus this one has like a little bit of a slimy kind of feeling to it. I don't mean slimy in a bad way, but it does have more of that like slippery but like thicker so hard for me to describe these, but I'll have to see, because this one, I love using the Kosas one because of the oiliness to it, so it does make my skin feel a lot more hydrated than some of my other like skin tint foundations. But this one does have a pretty decent claim of being hydrating, so we'll have to see how my combination skin goes throughout the day. I'm gonna use a little bit of powder. This is just the new Rare Beauty setting powder. I've actually been really liking this Rare Beauty powder. I did not think I was gonna use this like little thing where it covers up the holes as much as I do, but I use it a lot, and I've not spilled any powder yet. I'm just gonna take a little bit of powder with the brush, and I'm only gonna set one side of my face, and I'm just gonna do my T-zone because it is pretty cold outside, so I don't feel like sweat or anything like that is gonna be a factor. So I'm just gonna set where I typically get oily throughout the day. All right, so now we can get a good picture of what it looks like set. It does help blur the pores a little bit more when the foundation is set. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, and then we're gonna do a quick review over this plumping glassy lip trip. We're gonna try this on. So I just finished the rest of my eyeshadow up. I think I'm gonna leave the rest of this makeup very natural, and I'm not gonna put any blush or like highlighter or bronzer or anything on, and just see how this feels. Really, so far it does feel like I just have like moisturizer on my face. It doesn't really feel like I have a whole base of foundation on. Let's get into this plumping gloss. I don't like plumping gloss at all. This is in the shade Taco Tuesday. This shade just seemed like a very easy everyday shade. I don't really like tubes that have this kind of applicator. I'm just gonna pick up what I just swatched and put that on my lips. It definitely feels hydrating. It's a lot lighter of a tint than I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more color than this. So far, it feels really nice. It's a little bit of a thicker gloss. I'm not noticing anything like spicy or minty that is typical with plumping. And it does have a really nice high shine to it. It is almost 12 o'clock. I'm gonna try and wear this until about 6 o'clock. Let's get into the wear test. 6 hours later, we are here, and honestly, this looks really, really, really good for 6 hours. The lip balm I have applied several different times. It does not last, which, I mean, I didn't really expect it to, but I feel like these glosses are like the kind of glosses that you would just like to chuck in your purse and just have at all times. Though I do wish they did have one that was like clear or had just a little less tint, because like this one is a bit dark, but I need to go and check out the one that's a little bit lighter, and maybe I'll exchange it, because I do like the consistency of this. And even though it's like literally like 32 degrees outside right now, my lips do feel hydrated and not as dry as I would have thought, because literally yesterday it was 75 degrees, and then we had a horrible cold front come in, and it's been super windy, just awful all day. And then tonight it's supposed to be even more of a cold front. So considering the drastic change in temperature with having the AC on yesterday and then the heater on today, you would think I'd be super dry, but this lip balm held out for me, so that's good. So let's take a zoom in to the foundation and look at either side. I do feel like the side with the powder held on a bit better, but for 6 hours, I mean, even the NARS concealer is looking bomb with no powder on it. As far as like transferring, I feel like this really doesn't transfer all that much. Like, I feel like I can just like touch my face. Like, I have been like rubbing my nose a bit, and then I'll be like, oh my god, I'm wearing foundation, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine. I would probably put a little less foundation in the forehead area next time around, because I do feel like it has crease just a bit on my forehead. And then I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but I am a little bit dry up on the top of my forehead, and it is showing like through the foundation, but it's literally, you'd have to be this close to even see what I'm talking about. I do have I had a pimple right here that was bothering me. It was a bump and it didn't look like anything, and then of course I had to go and try and mess with it, and now it's like a little scab. So this is feeling a little dry, but as far as smile lines go, I feel like smile lines are good on both sides, powder and no powder. But y'all, I'm really liking this. I am definitely going to be keeping this foundation, and I'm very intrigued to see what this brand is going to come out with, because I really like the Kosas foundation, and this foundation really reminds me of the Kosas one, but I feel like it has a little bit more longevity with it, especially because I have combination skin, so literally every day is like a different day for me. So one day it might be oily, one day it might be more dry, one day it might be both really oily and really dry, one day I might have like more normal skin. It's literally a guessing game. I just wake up and figure it out. But I feel like with today, I really like how, like, I really don't feel like I'm wearing like anything on my face. Like, I feel comfortable with somebody like touching my face even though I have foundation on. Like, even with touching my face throughout this video, like, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything. Like, I could just like, you know. So I really like that aspect of it. I like the longevity of it, even though it doesn't have any long wear claims to it. For 6 hours, I think that did pretty good. I'm really loving this. I didn't have the highest expectations for this, but I am liking it thus far, and so I'm gonna give this a 2 thumbs up. I'm liking that all of the foundations are right up my alley, and I've been loving all of these foundations that are coming out, because when I initially got into all of these tinted moisturizers, I felt like there was not enough tinted moisturizers on the market, and now I feel like everyone is coming out with tinted moisturizers. But there is a tinted serum by Rose Inc that I also want to try, so we'll see if that one is another good one, because I did like the NARS foundation as well. I don't know, it's just a thing. But that is it for this video. Let me know if you guys have heard of this brand, if you're gonna try this brand, and don't forget to subscribe for new makeup videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one.